Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Beitler back for a new STaR story today. So the title of our story today is called Stone Soup, and that's the name of the story. This is a special kind of story called a folk tale. A folk tale is a story that has been told to children for many, many years, and each time it is told, it changes a bit. Sometimes different people write about a folk tale in their own way. So the person who wrote Stone Soup used her own way of telling it. So we say it is retold by Heather Forrest. And the illustrator, the person who drew all the beautiful pictures, is Susan Gaber. Okay, so let's look at the front cover of our book today. What is happening in this picture? What do you see? So to me, it looks like the man dropped a stone into a big container of, what do you think that is that he's dropping the stone into? So I think he's dropping the big stone into a container of water. I wonder why he's doing this. So the title of the story is called Stone Soup. I want you to think. What ideas does the title Stone Soup give you about the story? Would you want to eat soup with stones in it? Why or why not? Okay, let's read this story and find out if your ideas are in here. Here's our title page, Stone Soup. There once was a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains. The people who lived there had more than enough to keep themselves content. Content. I wonder what that word means. One day, two travelers came along. Their coats were tattered, their hats were torn, their dusty shoes had holes in their soles. Hungry and tired, one traveler said to the other, "Surely someone here can spare a bit of food." They knocked boldly on a door. It creaked open and a woman asked, "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the hungry travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The woman squinted her eyes tartly and replied, "No." She quickly slammed the door shut. The travelers walked a little farther down the road and knocked on another door. A young boy answered. His chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said shyly. "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The boy replied, "There is no food here," and closed the door. The travelers wandered wearily through the village, knocking on every door, but everywhere they heard, "I don't care, I won't share, there is no food." They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed and clutched his empty belly. He said, "If there is really no food in this elegant little village, then the people who live here are in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." So they said they're sitting next to a well. Does anybody know what is a well? So this is what they're sitting on next to a well. Okay, let's keep reading to find out. The two travelers climbed up on the edge of the well. They're up on the well now. And shouted, "We are master cooks. If anyone in this town has a big black pot, we will make the most delicious soup anyone ever tasted." A door slowly opened. A round man emerged carrying a giant black pot. Let's stop there. I heard the word emerged. So the door slowly opened and a round man emerged. What does the word emerged mean, do you think? Right, he came out. He showed up. We saw him. That means he walked through and he showed up. He emerged, carrying a giant black pot. "I love to eat," he said. "Here's a pot. Let me see what you two master cooks can do with it." "Watch and see," said one traveler with glee. The travelers filled the pot with cold water and built a fire. Soon the flames licked the side of the pot and billows of steam rose into the air. Curious people began to gather. "What is happening?" the townspeople asked. "We are making an unusual soup," said one of the travelers. "It requires a special magical ingredient. I am certain we will find it in this town." All the eyes in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up an ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash. "We are making stone soup," he said. "It will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better," he paused and sighed, "if we only had a carrot." Where do you think they're going to get a carrot from? Let's find out. "Where would we find a carrot in this town?" the other traveler asked. "We knocked on every door, and everywhere we heard, 'I don't care, I won't share, there is no food.' Then perhaps we cannot make the delicious soup after all," they both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders and began to turn away. A child timidly raised her hand and said, "Wait, I might have a small carrot." I heard the word timidly. What do you think that word might mean? Timidly. She said, "Wait, I might have a small carrot." "Excellent!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." "This magical soup would taste even better if we had a potato," they added. A deep voice in the back of the crowd called out, "I have a potato." "Wonderful!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." "It would taste better still," they said, "if we just had a few more ingredients." Before we start reading, what do you think's happening here? What are the people doing in these pictures here? What are they talking about? I see different types of food. I wonder if they're offering all of these different delicious food for their stone soup. Let's find out. "Perhaps," said one villager, "I could bring a green bean." While another said, "If you're going to bring a green bean, I will bring a kernel of corn." "I shall not be outdone," cried another. "I will bring an egg noodle." One by one, voices announced, "I will bring a slice of celery." "I will bring a pinch of pepper." "I can bring a sprig of parsley." "I might have a tiny turnip." "Well, what are you waiting for?" cried the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." Everyone in the town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon the huge pot was full of simmering. A wonderful smell drifted through the air. Close your eyes and smell. Can you smell the delicious soup they're making? Ooh, I'm picturing it in my head, all the delicious food that's inside that stone soup. The smell was so tempting. People brought out bowls, spoons, chairs, and tables. They placed hearty loaves of bread, chunks of cheese, and bowls of fruit on the tablecloths. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. "It's amazing," said one woman. "These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of a stone." "Out of a stone," said the travelers with a magical grin, "and a magical ingredient, sharing." As the travelers left the town, they said, "If anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. Every bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast." The end. So, was that soup really made from just one stone? Let's look. Let's turn back to the one page that has all of those foods on it. What else did we see go into that soup? Look at the picture. What do you see going into the soup? I see some tomatoes. Ooh, a zucchini, a potato, some squash. What other things do you see? So in the beginning of the story, the travelers walk through the village and knock on the doors of many homes. What do you think the word village means? Here's a picture of the village. What is the word village? So, a village is a small town. In small towns or villages, people know almost everyone who lives there. Maybe that's why the people in the village didn't want to help the strangers, because they didn't know them. People from the village came out of their houses to see what the strangers were doing. Let's turn to that page where the strangers started to come out to see what they were doing. See? They were looking at the villagers to see what they were doing. Or the villagers were looking at the strangers to see what they were doing. And they were in a crowd, right? So what do you think the word crowd means? Go ahead and look at this picture. What does the word crowd mean? Okay, a crowd is a large group of people. Have you ever seen a crowd of people before? Where were they? What were they doing? Okay, everyone, so we are all done with our stone soup story. Remember, it's always good to share. And I will see you back again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.